Today we're talking about how to legally shoot a wedding in a country other than your own, other than the one you've been born in, and one that you're a current passport holder in.
Taylor Jackson.
Shooting 67 weddings last year.
Taylor Jackson, welcome.
So Taylor, you are well known in this community. You're an amazing photographer.
I'm gonna start this video off, bit of a game. You'll never guess what I'm recording this video on, and if you can guess the camera body and the lens that I'm using, doesn't have to be the exact millimeters, the actual, the lens, what it's called, and what the camera body is called. First person to guess it in the comments below, I'll send you an Amazon.com gift certificate for 50 bucks. Or if you're Canadian, I'll transfer whatever 50 US is in Canadian. Include your Instagram name so I can easily contact you rather than trying to message you on YouTube, which was a little bit complex last time. So yeah, win that 50 bucks. I have some bad news today, and I'm gonna put on these glasses. I'm not Taylor Jackson now. I didn't come up with a great name. I'll display a name across the bottom here. That's who I am now. So all advice directed at him if you are upset. Basically, when it comes down to it, to shoot a wedding in a different country is illegal. And we do illegal things all the day. We jaywalk, we speed, we do small illegal things. Shooting a wedding in a different country, in my opinion, is a bit of a different legal boundary for me. One that I haven't crossed in a long time, one that I will specifically not cross from Canada to the US. I'm a Canadian citizen. I will never shoot a wedding in the United States of America because even though we have a lot of great agreements with the states, it really is a challenging border, and they do a lot of research. So to, not necessarily to scare you, but to give you an example of something that one of my friends got to experience, I'll give you a few examples. One, my friend is legitimately on vacation. He is driving from Toronto, Ontario to his friend in Buffalo. He is driving across the border, which is even more risky than flying across the border when it comes to them just investigating every little detail of your life. He has 2 tripods in the back of his trunk. He is not there to work. He has no camera bodies on him, but he is carrying professional tripods, considered professional gear. At the border, he has the right, I guess there's kind of I've never been through this process, but I guess at some point you can withdraw your request to enter the United States of America and no black mark goes on your record, or you can continue to push through. And if you get denied, then you've now been denied entry into this country, which is going to come up for the rest of time forever, including any countries that the US would share data with, which is a bit of a scary thing. No camera bodies, 2 big tripods, big video tripods in the trunk of his car that he legitimately forgot about. Turned around, went back home, withdrew his request to enter the country. There is no black mark against him. He can still go to the United States of America without much trouble. I'm sure there's a gray mark somewhere that mentions this. Another story that was, I'm gonna say this was probably 2014, 2013, so not even like recently, and it was in the country of Cuba. And Cuba, traditionally, so it was a Canadian citizen going down there to shoot a wedding. Cuba, traditionally, until last December, the actual citizens of Cuba did not have access to the internet. The internet, in their eyes, does not exist. It still doesn't kind of exist because it's way too expensive to actually use. And border services were allowed to use it. And if they suspected that you were a wedding photographer, they would just type your name into Google. And if you popped up and you had 2 camera bodies with you, they would turn you around and send you home. To me, that's really scary because I'm entering a place that I don't know anyone. There's no backup solution. At least if I was silly enough to shoot a wedding in Florida or whatever, like I know a couple people that I could call and be like, hey, it's 2 days before the wedding. Any chance you can bail me out of this situation? And I'd pay them the full rate, whatever they need to get it done. But that's not a situation that I would put myself in at this point in my career, especially with so much information out there on the internet. Now you might say to yourself, Taylor, there's a lot of really high profile destination wedding photographers that are out there doing work all around the world all the time. And I've asked a lot of them, and a few of them have actually said it in public, that they're just on vacation all the time. So they don't declare anything, they don't get any proper work permits, they just literally go into countries and they're on vacation with their significant other, they're on vacation with their family. I don't recommend this strategy because it's super illegal. And if you do get caught, it's honestly quite a big deal. Now there are a few exceptions to this. If you happen to be a European Union citizen, you can work in all the other EU countries, mostly, and you have to report after certain lengths of stay. But for the most part, you can go out and you can work in other countries, which is kind of cool. If you're born somewhere, or you can get dual citizenship, like look back in your family tree and see what you can get. My grandparents were Ukrainian, but they left before a certain date, and there's a cutoff date, so I could have got my EU passport had they stayed like another 3 months in their country, but war, conflict things, so I'm happy that they left, otherwise I wouldn't exist. But because of that, I can't get an EU passport. Now the people that want to be super cool, they'll say that they got like an N1 visa and that they're Canadians working in the States, or maybe the other way around, and there's a special visa name for them and a special visa class. I have a few friends, as a Canadian citizen, I have a few friends that actually have a proper work visa in the United States, and Two of them work on major motion pictures, so they are legitimately the best in their industry. They had to get sign off from different producers that are in Canada that also work in the States, and it's a full legal process. It costs a lot of money, and it becomes an increasing pain in the butt to file your taxes when you're kind of legally able to work in the States as well, because you have to file the IRS in Canada as well. The other guy I know, his name's Cooper. He's a great dude. He grew up like 2 blocks away from here. He's the director of digital for Universal Music. So by being somebody that is so high profile that he's been written about in multiple magazines, he has international press on him, that at that point he's allowed to apply for this special visa to essentially be granted kind of celebrity status in the country, or business celebrity, I guess, in Cooper's case and everyone else's case, that they can legally work there, but it is not just to show up at the border and be like, hi, I'm here to shoot a wedding, please let me through, because they are going to turn you around and not allow you into the country. There are a lot of myths online that if you sign the contract, if I sign the contract in Canada with my couple over here, that I'm legally allowed to go wherever and take a job away from a citizen wherever they choose in the world, and that is not true. The other thing that's not true is if money exchanges on Canadian soil and I want to go somewhere else to shoot a wedding, that is also not true. Those are just things that we make up to tell ourselves to make us okay with doing these illegal things. For me personally, the hardest part of doing a destination wedding, traditionally at least destinations for us here, are going down to a Caribbean country and shooting kind of a palm tree style on the beach destination wedding. And the thing that I am the most uncomfortable with in any sort of situation like that is that, one, you're taking a job away from a citizen that legitimately kind of needs that job, and hopefully there's, I guess, all different discretionary things that, oh, well, they're not gonna have new camera gear, they're not gonna, whatever it is, that they might not do the best job. At the end of the day, legally, you're still taking a job away from them. What I don't like specifically about doing destinations on resorts is that you're taking a job away from somebody, and that photographer is right there. And if they decide that they wanna call the border authority or whatever they wanna do, they are able to do that. And I haven't heard of a crackdown like this yet, but I don't know, it seems weird for me to take a job away from somebody that's just literally standing right there watching me do it. And if I was in their situation, I would be pretty angry. If I was a local business owner, an entrepreneur that had my own shop, and I saw hundreds and hundreds of photographers coming into my country to take jobs that I easily could have had. With the case of Cancun, I know a lot of dudes in Cancun that are really, really great photographers, and some guys in Italy as well, and that when people come into the country and they just take jobs from them and go back with their portfolio, it really does have an impact in their specific businesses. So those are my thoughts, and that is my specific stance on shooting destination wedding. And there's just so much information out there on the internet that it's very easy if they decided that they wanted to look in, or if you posted a Facebook update that was like, hey, so excited to be shooting whatever wedding, and then they just go on your phone at Borders when you get pulled into secondary and just find Borders as a bookstore and just find this post or find a message or find that paper trail of like linking you back to taking money and taking a job away from somebody in their country. And that's just not something that I'm willing to do any longer. Now, if you have information that can lead to doing destination weddings legally, or you have done it, I have never heard of a single wedding photographer in the history of my career. I've been doing this over 15 years now, and I've never heard of a photographer ever shooting a destination wedding legally. If you have, or if you know how, and you're not some sort of special case that you were born in the States and live in Canada or something like that, please comment below, and I will literally pull this video offline and make a new video with you about how to actually do it legally. Because to my knowledge and full honesty, full transparency, I do not believe it's possible as a freelance wedding photographer to go into another country and legally shoot that wedding. Everyone that does it right now is just on vacation with their family, a significant other, second shooter, whatever it might be. That's all for today. Tomorrow's video, I'll take the glasses off and you're able to like me again. Thanks for listening. I hope I probably didn't help, but hopefully you pulled something from it. Sorry if it just made you feel bad about trying to do something that you really want to do, because destination weddings are a lot of fun, and it's kind of a bummer that they're so legally challenging to do. And I wish that there was some sort of like little checkbox. I'm just here to shoot a wedding. But I don't think that exists. But again, correct me in the comments below if you found that checkbox. Also, I'm not a lawyer, or this guy wasn't a lawyer with the glasses. So check into stuff, but I feel like that's pretty accurate advice, kind of based on really any country that you could be in the world. I have a client meeting right now right here. We're gonna talk about a wedding that's happening about 20 minutes that way. It's not illegal, I promise. See you next time.